So hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Call or a podcast. My name is Satveer Kaur, and I've created this podcast is to just share uplifting, positive narratives, just to encourage, elevate others, like really kind of empower them to make changes for themselves. So whether that's working on their own well-being, working on their self-development, just working on being kind of feeling in a happier state, right? And just coming out there and being and embracing your true, authentic self, right? Who would not want that? Woo! I like it. So, guys, this is what I want to do for this episode. As much as, yeah, we have our stuff that we want to kind of let people know, raise the awareness of, I just wanted to be a bit as well relaxed vibes and just speak on real life experiences as well. We have a part two to a previous guest that we've had on before. So, I thought I would welcome my buddy and just speak on the hype guys. So guys, please welcome back Reiss from the Brotherhood Legion. Woo! Welcome, Reiss.
Thank you for having me back, Sat. And yeah, I'm honored to come back on. I'm looking forward to chopping into the hike that we went on, and then anything else that that comes up that we can share with your audience.
Yeah, no, thank you. Just like we spoke of before, I wanted it to be just a bit of like a cozy chat run, just a bit of a relaxed vibe and speak on my hike and just the experience of it. And also as well, want to speak on the whole experience of it, but want to encourage people as well to just go out there and try these new experiences. Because like I spoke about in my first series of my podcast, it was all about experiencing like new experiences. So I spoke one including the hike and it was something that was just presented to me back in bloody hell. What year are we in now? You got lost in it. But 2022. So, and I had a hike planned back then. And it included camping. When I listened to Reiss, I listened to my podcast the other day, and the initial hike that I had planned was scheduled to be in Snowdon. That's Wales, right?
Yep, yep.
Inc- Including camping. And now, after my experience with you guys, I know now looking back, I would never have been able to do that at that point. So it's just crazy how it worked out in the end because it didn't manage. We didn't manage to work it out in the end. We had to cancel it. But when I then met you, I got the opportunity to do the hike. Two guys. But what helped, I think, not that it was low level at all, because it's quite an experience. I did struggle. It was quite a challenge, but I think it was a really good way to ease me into it, man. Because I think if I started off in Snowdon, I would have been, you would have seen me again, guys. But I just want to speak on it. Like, one, where we went. Do you remember the place? Because I thought I want to let people know as well, just to raise the awareness of such a beautiful place that we went to.
So we went to the Peak District, and the first place that we was walking around was the Lud's Church,
Yes.
and then I think it's Rock or Cribs Croc. It's basically on the same path. You go up to Lud's Church, and then you go a little bit further, and it's just a longer route out of from the roadside. But it was the Peak District that's where it was, and the Lud's Church was an old. It was an old it's old hiding space for paganism. So people that used to worship different gods go there and hide, and then find shelter from the higher powers, the armies and stuff like that. And yeah, it's a beautiful place, isn't it? It's lovely.
Oh,
It's
man.
deep within the rocks. It has this condensation that comes off the walls as well, so it cools you. It's like being in like Jurassic Park or something. Yeah, there's
Yes.
a really, really nice and cool energy about it.
Oh, yeah, and you could proper feel it, like it was such a one beautiful scene. Do you know what I mean? But just like the history of it, and you really felt that energy to know that it was a safe haven back in the day. Like, honestly, you could really feel it. Like, it was just the best place to visit. So that's what I wanted to talk about, guys. We speak of it being so beautiful, amazing. The bloody trek to get there was was quite something. Well, for me, because I'm not a seasoned hiker, man. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? But
yeah.
are you a seasoned hiker? I don't think I've never asked you. Like, do you do this on the regular?
Well, within the group dynamics, we do like one or two a year. So, but then, no, depending, on our first couple of years, we might have done three. But call me a seasoned hiker, not really. But when we've taken most of our hikes at the Peak District. Last hike you went on actually was down at Brecon Beacon, which was in Wales,
Yes.
and then that was pretty steep. The elevation was pretty high on that one. So But I really enjoy hiking. I love getting out there in the open spaces. It's great when you do it with a group of people as well. And I traveled to Greece and we did Mount Olympus. Me and a couple of friends as well. So that was a really nice experience. Climbing the Mountain of the Gods, doing a little bit of scrambling. So, to say like, I love hiking. I don't know if I'm a seasonal hiker, but I do love going for nice walks and then just getting out there into the wild.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Like honestly, so many positives came from it. We spoke about the last episode. Honestly, it was an amazing group what you put together. Such a positive experience. But let's be real, guys. It was quite the bloody challenge, man. Like seriously, I honestly was quite naive to the situation, but that's what made it fun though. It was all about challenging myself, like, do you know what I mean? And overcoming that, because like I said, it was quite the experience, but also gaining then that support from others was just massive. And that's what kept me going. So it was crazy. And guys, because which I wanted to raise as well, the whole point of talking about this hike, Reese, is that I ended up going to it on my own. And normally I have to be with someone to go somewhere. Do you know what I mean? So it was the first time I was doing something on my own solo. And normally I rely on a friend and then also I was scheduled to go with someone, but they cancelled. So normally my go-to would have been like cancel and just not go. Do you know what I mean? But for some reason, it was something I wanted to experience. The opportunity had came around again, and I just thought, "Do you know what? Just do it. Trust in it." And when I did, I had the best experience. So I want to use this as a form of encouragement to like imagine how many experiences we have kind of blocked by me doing that, not going because someone else hasn't gone that I'm so used to. But it's about stepping out, isn't it? Going into those spaces because with the groups that you do and what you've created, you must have so many that are coming there for the first time because that's what I found on the hike. There were others that were coming there on their own as well.
Definitely do. So obviously for people that might have not watched the first episode, I run two multi-award winning mental health movements for men and for women called the Brotherhood Legion and the Sisterhood _ Midlands. And we do numerous different activities, free services, try and get people out moving, talking, and then are building themselves up within a community. Every day, you meet people that are fighting them little battles in your mind. They are saying, do it, don't do it, do it, don't do it. And then obviously trying to find them ways with using other tools like other people to fight, to push themselves, into that experience. But it's difficult, and then to overcome that, and then push that, push back at that feeling what makes you uncomfortable, and then put yourself in a space where it's unusual to you is a massive win. So and you've
Yes.
always got to try and reflect on when you face another challenge or someone asks you to go to a new place and do a new experience, and then your initial feeling is, oh, I'd love to do that, but and then that second wave of doubt comes in, and then that judgment that you face, you need to go, okay, then, well, I'm worried that I'm not going to be great, or people are going to judge me, and I'm going to fail, and then go, actually, I've had these feelings before. That last time that I pushed myself forward, and then the result was actually when I got through it, I really enjoyed it, and then I was empowered, and then I gained some confidence. So we have to kind of remind ourselves all the time of that kind of of life, because well, you do get in feelings, but life's about where we grow is when we push back at that uncomfortable feeling and that fear, and then we find a little bit more out about ourselves.
Yeah, definitely. You do. Tracy, you mentioned award winning, so let me know about your accomplishments.
So from starting this 3 years ago, we've won multiple awards. Some of them starting out local based. So we won the High Sheriff Award, which is pretty much a recognition, local recognition that's awarded down from the King. So you don't have to go to Buckingham Palace or anything like that. It's hit one of the King's Awards that is represented throughout different communities and initiated by the High Sheriff, which is like one of the main people that's connected with the police, and they just kind of give you a praise for the work that you do in the community. So we have that. We have the Dialogue Society Award, which is for new volunteers. So that was the first year that we got an award, and that was just for once again the stuff what we've done since growing this community. It front it meant it fronts, but it was initially created and it's titled a men's mental health movement and a mental health movement. But we do multiple community events where we feed, we clothe, and then we elevate the community. We get out there and we help the homeless as well, and then we do these big educational workshops. I put out a bleed kit on Knob Road. I'm putting another bleed kit out in the community coming up. So we are so, um, we're so vast in the different sorts of things that we do,
Mm.
that we do really take the CIC, which is the community interest company part, really serious. We're here about building a network and then a connection within the city to help as many people as possible. So we've got them two awards there, and then we have the BBC Make a Difference Award. So we got in the finals of BBC Make a Difference in our second year, and then I won the 40 under 40 award, which is the top 40 entrepreneurs within the UK under the age of 40. And I won that for community
Right.
development. So once again, we're going back to that community essence. And then, we've been nominated for other things, but I've just not invested the time to go in apply to them awards. But the real award is the connection and the elevation, and then now the amount of people that use the services. We've offered it, and we've secured, about around about 12 people that have got counseling through us, men and women so far. And then, yeah, we feed into, so there's so many different conversations that we have now. And with big networks of charities and stuff, on a day-to-day basis, there's change being created through an impression that the group has achieved.
Mm, yeah, a massive well done. And like I said, those accomplishments are amazing. And like I said, the whole bigger picture as well, and amazing stuff you're doing. Such an impact within your community and beyond, and so much more to come for you. Like, do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
we've
And
only
that's
just
what it's.
this is like we're such a baby as well, so it's yeah,
Yes.
it's exciting.
This is just the start, exactly. So, like I said, so with the hike, it was quite a challenge. And do you know what as well, Reed? I'm obviously, that I'm working on my fitness and it's all part of my kind of journey going forward. Part of it is to kind of become my strongest. Um, it's an ongoing thing, do you know what I mean? But it's all about physical and trying to get fit. And I thought up until that hike, my fitness levels were kind of good. I was on, I was on track. Bloody hell, that hike and on that day, I was like, yeah, I got work to do. Like, I really struggled, and it was just such a challenge. And imagine being on your own, and normally you'd have someone to lean on. Do you know what I mean? And
Well, you
but
did
the
lean on me a bit.
you know what? I to bring that up as I think at one point my feet were off the ground. You may have
Yeah.
had my full weight. Oh my gosh. And do you know what? I was going to mention that as well because there were so many episodes of that hike. But it was crazy because these were strangers, but they were so open to helping me and supporting me and reassuring me. Do you know what I mean? Because I struggled, but everybody was just so forthcoming and supportive, literally leaning on people. So it was just such an amazing set of people you'd brought together. But the importance of that, supporting one another, right?
Yeah, 1,000,000%, and that's why the group's there. That's why we do that's why I love
Mm,
doing it with big groups of people. It's because a lot of people are facing that challenge. A lot of people are pushing
mm,
themselves out of a comfort zone or trying to challenge, and it's not easy. It's difficult. There was a lot of elevation, a lot of stairs, and uneven ground that we went on that day. And then obviously we had the rain as well. That was also, and a whole different situation itself. So people were cold and they were wet, but them around, their spirits were still high because them endorphins from just,
mm.
pushing through, and then, all that exercise. And just to see people put themselves out there and lend a hand to somebody or carry somebody else's bag and then act as a team.
Yes.
It's nice. It's nice when they live in a world where a lot of people feel lonely and a lot of people feel like nobody like is supportive or appreciative or they see them. And then when you get around a bunch of people when you're in a difficult place and they're talking a bit of life into you, and then
Yes.
they're being generous and they're being kind, it does bring back your sense of like humanity and like faith in people.
Yes, it really did. Like, honestly. And then it was from that support, it made me even more determined to finish it because there was the option halfway to leave. And then there's a version of me where I would have gone. But it was almost like the support around me, I wanted to finish it, plus that self sense of achievement as well. Like, do you know what I mean? I was very determined to finish it and think, I've got here now. I want to do it to the end, like. but it was a lot of it was that support and people encouraging you and elevating you. And sometimes when you ain't got it in you, because woo, I was struggling to breathe at some points, having that support and guidance around you really helps uplift you, doesn't it?
Mm. It did. It does and it did. It does and it did. And
Yeah.
even if it's like, even if you put it down to like the taking it back to being a child, a lot of people have limited beliefs in themselves because they're not surrounded by people that have encouraged them to believe in better. So, you know, a lot of the time we have this relationship with ourselves, people do, where they don't believe that they can achieve a lot of things in life, and that they put themselves down. And the body and the mind is a lot more capable if you unlock it. And then sometimes you need someone beside you to say, go and get it, you know, attack it. I believe in you. I think you can do this. Look what you're doing right now. This is just a reflection of your strength. And then you tap into it. It gives you that second wind. It gives you that motivation. But it's hard to find that if you're doing it on your own. So, yeah.
Oh, it was just the best experience, like, honestly. And honestly, the conversations I had with some people, and I do apologize, people were trying to have conversation with me, but because I was trying to stay just breathing out here, I had to literally tell people, I'm so sorry. Can I get back to you? Because I was just trying to make it through that hike. But it was so worth it. Do you know what I mean? So, and to those people out there that seasoned pros that I spoke to recently walk for like 11, 12 hours. And I was like, how? That's amazing. What? It's like really, I give them credit, like kudos to them. Cause I must admit though, and it's not a bad thing, but after my experiences, it was amazing, like getting to those views kind of thing. But yeah, I don't think I'd class myself as a hiker.
Okay, I think deep down I think we don't say we are, but I kind of think that we're all ancient hikers. There's a walker in all of us. You might not walk up outside on the green, but you do. A lot of us have grown up walking everywhere, so it's in our
No,
DNA. You know, we didn't always have cars or anything like that, so we you know we traveled, we explored. And you know, we walk if it's doing our 10,000 steps around the bloody park, or to 10,000 steps up and down some stairs at work. We're all professional walkers, so
yeah,
uh,
when you look at it like that, 100%, I'm with you on that. But I
mm,
just meant like the conditions. Do you know what I mean? Because speaking even about the Wales one, I think a lot of it was I was unprepared. Like, do you know what I mean? And that's my own doing. So I struggled with that. And plus, I'm just not really good. Like, I like outdoor activities, but I'm just not really good with the cold. So that a lot of it in that sense. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, we just need to get you a better jacket then.
Yeah, probably, and that. But it was just the whole conditions. Like, I must admit, the second one, I'll be honest, like the second in Wales, it was again, I feel so proud that I'd done that. Do you know what I mean? And challenged myself to do it. And again, I met some amazing people, had some amazing conversations. So that outweighed that whole, I didn't like the conditions. Do you know what I mean? I was cold. It was that muddy. That was just me. Do you know what I mean? But it was such an experience. I challenged myself. I met some amazing people, had some great conversations. Um, so overall, but I can't see myself doing it on the regular in that sense. But this is what it's all about: finding what fits your vibe, and it's all about that. Finding things that you love to do. Because I'm all about hobbies, having fun, experiences. Do you get it?
Yeah. I want to ask you, obviously, because we spoke about you having the idea and the dream and the goal when you first wanted to hike, to go and camp as well. Have you ever
Yeah.
been camping?
No, and that's what I mentioned on my the first series, I haven't,
Yeah.
but I know how I am. I probably won't like the experience, but I want to try it to say that I've tried it.
Well, bringing that up, we do have
Yeah.
a hike and a camp on the 27th of September. So now I'm just going to put you on the spot. Yeah.
No, shut
If you're free on the 27th of September, we are going to the Peak District again.
no way.
The actual name of the place is on one of my conversations, but I don't know. But there's some beautiful waterfalls around there. It's not going to be high elevation. And then we're going to be picking, we've got a campsite that's quite close, and then we'll be having barbecue in a, you know, in a little camp, and the rest of the whole shebang there. So if you fancy it and you really want to do it, then we can put you down.
Oh shoot. Oh my gosh, do you know what though? That does sound so fun, like, seriously?
It
But
will
look
be
at
lovely. It will be lovely.
yeah. Oh, shoot, man. Yeah, and do you know what? Like, I'll be honest, guys, anyone listening, um, with camping, with stuff like that, I have experiences that I've had, like beside the hike. I'm mentioning the hike, Reese, because I spoke about it on my first series. Do you know what I mean? So I thought I'd trying to tie up a few loose ends here with my first series because I kind of went off on many tangents. So I thought I've just wanted to cover that. But I have tried other kind of experiences. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? You're not going to know if you like it unless you try it. And this is what I'm trying to do going forward with just my life and in general, like. And so yeah, I'm gonna try it because I know well, I don't know if I'm up for those conditions, like I s like toilet facilities and all that. But this is what I
The campsite has toilets and showers.
okay. Do you know
Most
what?
of them do, unless you're gonna go wild camping, then yeah, then that will add the extra challenge there. If you'll have to use the outdoors.
Okay, that's good. Only because when I was on the hike, this is how naive I was. I was assuming there's going to be toilets halfway up there. And I remember saying to people, guys, are there going to be toilets up there? And I was just like, whoa. So yeah, I heard all about the wild stuff. So I thought, oh, okay, let's see. That would be quite an experience, but don't want to experience it just yet. Okay, that's good to know then. So
Yeah, it's good
yeah,
to know.
I should be
There you
down for
go.
that. That's going to be so good. And that's what it's all about. So it's to encourage people. Do you know what I mean? I've been speaking to a lot of people on the podcast about hobbies. Do you know what I mean? And it is all about that. And it's for people listening, like guys, if just to give you ideas, because sometimes we do lose ourselves, Reese. Do you know what I mean? With so much going on, life be freaking lifing out here, man. And you lose yourself and just spending time on yourself and just you need to do that. Find out what ignites your soul. Do you know what I mean? So, which brings me on, because I know we spoke a bit then about the hike. Honestly, Reese, it was an amazing experience. So it's not over yet, then, guys. We've got another experience, and I
That's
bloody
it.
can't wait. To
Yeah,
be fair,
episode 2,
yes,
the second hiking camp.
yeah. Oh my gosh, so combo, the combo deal.
Yeah.
Honestly, so those details. Oh, so give me the rundown again, just to let people know as well of that camping trip.
This one we're going to be doing on the 27th of September, at the end of September. But it'll be last time obviously we were at Brecon Beacons and there was a lot, there was a good amount of people. I think we had 30 plus people that went on that hike there. But this one, similar situation, is closer to home because you know how much drama we had on that as well, in a good
Oh
way.
yes. Oh yeah.
But
Yeah.
just for the traveling aspect, getting lost in all sorts in the mountains, um, and well, in them valley streets. But we're going to keep it closer to home, and then we're going to give the added option of being able to camp because I know a lot of people do want to do that. And then this place is going to be full of waterfalls, beautiful places for people to get in the water
Oh
as
my
well. So
gosh. Oh wow.
yeah. So if this does go out before then, and you want to follow the Brotherhood Legion.cic or the Sisterhood _ Midlands on Instagram, you'll be able to see and then contact us to be able to get involved.
Oh, that's so exciting. Like honestly, I can't wait. It's gonna be such an experience. And bloody hell waterfalls. Like, how wicked is that?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be so exciting. Like, how crazy is that? And look at that, guys. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've literally, we spoke on this, and now I'm gonna get to experience that. And are you a regular camper? So we're gonna be well looked after, right?
Well, once again, I'm not I'm not a regular camper, but you will be looked after. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's gonna be such a good experience. Like, honestly, I can't believe it. Like, I'll be honest, I don't know if I'm gonna like it, but I wanna just experience it and try it. Do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
it's all about that trying stuff. And if you don't like it, then you know not to do it again. Like, it's one of those, like, but just experience it, see what comes from it. But that's gonna sound so fun. Are you a camper?
I'm not a camper. I've camped, as in, I've definitely camped before in my life and more than a few times, but I am not a regular camper. So I don't right now own a really good tent, but I'll get one or lend one from the lads. The last time I did go camping, I actually hated it, but
Why?
I just it's because I just got my tent wasn't that great. It was cold, and I didn't have a floor mat because I didn't understand it that I needed a floor mat, and I had a sleeping bag that was only meant for warm weather. So I don't know if anyone's ever got camping, but the last thing you want to be doing is with a thin sleeping bag sleeping on the floor. because all the temperature, the coldness of the floor. I couldn't sleep. It was freezing. It was raining. I was in all my clothes, but it's a lesson learned. I will definitely have a floor mat this time. I will have a better
Okay.
sleeping bag, and I will have a better tent. So these are why we learn off these experiences, and we can prepare to not be in the same situation next time. But I'm definitely excited about getting back out there and doing some camping. We'll get some big lights, we'll have some music, we'll have some food, and then we'll forget about um, life for a bit.
Oh man, that sounds so good. Like honestly, I can't wait, guys. So, and I can't wait then to speak on it. So yeah, this is to what do you say? To be continued. whatever, whatever you say. So this is what I wanted to say as well, Reese, because my history, like I'm learning now to become like fit, becoming more active. Do you know what I mean? And just increasing like my fitness levels, just for my own self and my own health kind of thing. But I've not always been like this. Like seriously, it's only since making changes that I'm becoming active and really wanting to pursue like activities and do and out like outdoor stuff like hike years ago would not have been my go-to to even experience and want to try. Do you know what I mean? Have you always been a sporty spice?
I
Because
have
I
always been
haven't.
sporty spice. Yeah, I've always been sporty spice. Never called
Really?
myself that, but I know what you mean.
It's your new
Um,
name now.
yeah, but I've constantly been since I was a kid. I've been into boxing, running,
Mm.
football. Wasn't that great at football, but I was all right at boxing and running. So I was in the cross country county team for Leicester, me and my brother. And I was always here, there, and everywhere. So I was always really active. I was um, yeah, very outdoors kid. I wasn't really at home that much. So I've always been moving and grooving, and then obviously I started dancing at like 15, 14. So massively into that as well. So I'd spend all my free moments like on YouTube or going to classes or stuff. So yeah, I've definitely movement, sports, all that's been throughout my life for a long time.
Yes, see, Reese, this brings me on to the next thing I wanted to speak to you about because we only really touched on it on the last episode. Um, about your dance history. You spoke about it, but I wanted to just ask about your whole passion because it's just amazing and what you do with it now. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, my dancing, well, it's a massive part of my life, isn't it? But a lot of people know me now as a personal trainer. A lot of people know me as the creator of the Brotherhood and the Sisterhood that does a lot of charity work. So, but realistically, I've only been doing this for 3 years. The
Mm,
the back end of my life, the past 10 professional years, was as a performer, as a professional dancer. And there's there's something that is come from all that is created the person that I am today. But dance is an incredible, it's a massive part of my life. It's something that I will always be able to lean on as I grow older and enjoy, and then use to heal me as well as to,
mm.
you know, yeah, just enjoy myself, recharge my battery. So, but in I always because I always kind of parallel 'em at the minute. People ask me now, like, do I miss dancing? Right now I do, I do one-to-one sessions with people. I do, dance fitness at the gym as well. So I teach that apart from fitness, and try and try and mix them both together there. And I do, well, recently I was in a Elliot James Ray's video, the upcoming artist, and then I did the Lucas Aid advert last year. But I do little
Nice.
bits now, little moments, little jobs. But say 4 years, well, before lockdown, I would travel the world. I'd work in, if it was renowned resorts, be surrounded by football players, actors, and I'd be working 4 hours a day in a beautiful place, being looked after by a chef. Um, and my life would be totally different. Now I wake up and I work every minute of every hour, apart from the hour I give myself to break in the morning, and then I'm back to like educating, grinding, and finding myself a new path and a new career. So, but I wouldn't go backwards. I'm, as a dancer, you kind of learn that you have to burn the boats and devote yourself to something, and that life's not easy. And if you ask me when I was a professional dancer, did I have a option number two? Then I've never had an option number two. So now I build this, these foundations for a new career and a new path. I kind of have to lean on that as well and say, that was incredible, but that now would be the easy way out for me. So this is the what we do with the charity work, what we do with the events, and then the rest of my life is, my new venture, is my new challenge, is my new discovery for who I want to be. But dancing will always be, deep down in my core, my life source.
Yeah, 100%. And it's probably your go-to as well. Like you said, it's very healing. Do you know what I mean? You get so much from it. So even just it's in you. So I'm sure as well when you're just chilling, vibing, that's your go-to to feel better because of the benefits of it. So it's always going to stay with you like that. And do you know what I find as well, Reese? Because obviously with my history, my work history, I've kind of left like a career to pursue this, what I'm doing. Do you know what I mean? But it's always going to be a part of us, but it is in the past almost because of what we're creating, what we're becoming, kind of thing. But we have to have gone through that and everything that we've learned from that. I find I've got so many transferable skills. Like I had to have almost been a midwife, gone through all that to be able to do what I'm doing and to have this whole the experience you gain, which you don't realize, do you know what I mean, at the time, but how much you're transferring over to what you're creating. I found anyway on my journey is just massive. Do you find that?
100, we're always learning from life. Sometimes we don't see it right in front of us, and we realize it years down the line that, oh my god, it was, it was that person, it was that experience. It kind of taught me a lot about myself, even in, our troubles, our challenges, and our pain, and the things that, happen to us that knock us back, take us a few steps back, or, causes trauma. There's, there's moments in them that teach us massively about ourselves. So yeah, dancing, well, everything I do now is aligned with dancing. My story of being a dancer, coming from an area struck with poverty, as a council kid that was constantly in trouble with the law, using substances at a young age, didn't get any grades in school, went to college, left college after a month, went to some like kind of well, it's a city and guilds course where it was just full of kids that were just, doing nothing realistically. We were all smoking weed and just painting doors. A woman approached me in the street from the council, gave me an opportunity to go to a new scheme and then a new like college for performers, which didn't happen because they didn't get the funding, but then put me forward to a private performing arts college. It was like the Billy Elliot story of, Billy Elliot coming, that young kid that got his life changing opportunity, and that's what it was like. That also that, what do they call it? Step Up Street, Channing Tatum, that movie where he comes out of the streets. That is the representation of my life, and my limits to what I was capable of. I didn't fully understand, and then becoming a dancer, being able to travel the world, getting into a private performing arts college, it totally blew up the top off of all them expectations, and it made me realize that life can be incredible if, you apply yourself differently, and then you open your mind and expand yourself to dream, and so everything that I do now is called in that aspect of like, I believe I can do it. And I'll work hard to do it. And dancing teaches you all of that. It teaches you hard work, it teaches you discipline, it teaches you grit, but it also ignites you with passion and power and presence. And yeah, it changed my life. And then it's changed, multiple people's lives after mine because of, because of the way how I move now, and how, I hold myself, and the love that people have gave me, how I give it back and look after my community.
Yeah, it's amazing. I love
It
that,
is awesome.
honestly. And also, so with dance, obviously there's different types, right? What's your favorite?
My
Because
favorite
you,
dance
yeah.
style, it's probably something to do with lyrical, hip hop lyrical, commercial lyrical. Lyrical is kind of contemporary but expressive, emotional. When I first started, it was locking and popping. I used to go to breakdancing, and then I was in the carnival. So I do the Broxton Carnivals, a young dance troupe called ER Crew, and then we'd do local West End pubs, and it was African Caribbean dancing, Afro beats, um, yeah, a lot of nice high energy music
Nice.
as coming up in the game. But you know, anything that allows you to express yourself and has, that you can apply some emotion to and is not too rigid, I really enjoy. But all music has that. All music has different levels of different energy. But there's times that I've done some Latin in ballroom, and I remember there was this one routine that we did on a cruise ship, and it was with this girl called Elena, who's my dance partner. She was like my opposite across the stage, and she was just as mad as me. We were both very energetic, very full of fire, very full of passion, and you can get up possessed is probably not the right word, but you can dive into something, into a
Mm,
routine, and you can embody the message and the
mm,
feeling. And we did a Apache tango. Apache tango is a rough kind of tango Latin dance. There's kind of there's a lot of sensual, kind of tough, soft aggression, but also love in there.
mm,
Yeah. And so I'm throwing around, I'm picking up, I'm rolling her down, and then you just
mm.
it's like it's like you forget where you are, and then it's only when you walk back off the stage and then you catch your breath and you're like, oh, okay, then yeah. But when you're
Back
in
in the
it,
room.
yeah,
Yes.
you know, it takes over you. It takes over your mind,
Yeah.
takes over your soul, and then so there's them sort of routines, and then there is like the moments where you might, yeah, I've done some routines, and it's urban, it's street, and you're all just
Mm.
um just having a great time, and then that
Yeah.
just there, and you get, yeah, there's different styles, but all of them are all of them are really rewarding if you give yourself to them. If you give yourself,
Yes.
and if you're confident, then
Imagine.
and yeah, you can. It's like flying.
Mm,
It's like in your dreams when you fly in your dreams and you don't feel scared. That's what it's
nice.
like. Mm.
That's it. And it like I know that I'm a bloody dancer, by the way. I have no rhythm. I'm saying as in how you said it's so expressive. Like when you see it, you watch it, that emotion.
You get an energy transfer, don't you?
Yes, it's all about that, isn't it? And oh my gosh, and you can really see that. So, I know, do you know what? It's funny that you say tank.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
because, well, when you kind of watch Strictly and all that, I don't watch it now, but when I did, it was amazing watching it. Like you could feel that type of energy, the emotion. They really told a story, doesn't it? Like each dance, it's just a lot. My favorite used to be, is it the Argentine tango?
It's c I think, look, we really like that one because of the fieriness of it,
Yes.
because of like, how strong it is, but also it's very you can be very precise. So there's a lot of sharp movements in it, but there's also a
Mm,
lot of emotion in it, which is really
yes.
good. Mm.
Yeah. Oh man, I love that. So I thought, you know what? I wanted to ask you as well, just all about like your dance history. What do you enjoy, kind of thing? What you get from it? Because again, guys, for anyone listening, watching, that is a form of enjoyment that people could try. It's so uplifting. Do you know what I mean? And like you said as well, dance, music. There's so much truth to it where you can just naturally, it's all about vibrations, guys. Do you know what I mean? And it uplifts you and it makes you feel so just within yourself. And that's what it's all about. What is it that ignites your soul? And just for people to feel good and find that feel good thing for them. So that's why, Reese, I always like to know about people's passions, their hobbies, things they like to do in their own time, their self care, because it's all about that, isn't it? Sharing knowledge.
I think everybody should get out and dance. It is
Mm,
it's a very powerful piece of movement. Like, movement in itself is going to help you with like
mm,
endorphin, serotonin, dopamine, but there is
mm,
something special about dancing, something special about music. We've done it from the beginning of time. People have danced around fires. There's all traditions of different cultures that play different types of music, and they have different ways of movement, but they'll do things in a collective, and
mm,
it is ancestral, and there
mm.
is a soul essence of it all, like, the biology of our body that activates to it. There's a
Yes.
book I've got, and there's a woman that you can follow as well, and she's gone to college, and here it is. One second. It's called the dance cure, the dance cure. Yeah, and then it
Okay,
tells you
nice.
all about um like ancient tribes, and then but also like resonance, and about how our frequencies in our minds, like, and how when we're in a large group of people move into a resonance or a
Yes.
rhythm, that we
Yes.
connect, you know, and
Mhm.
it's like you synchronize with people, and
Yes.
people feel it. If you ever within a crowd, and you're moving the same way, and like if you're at a rave or you're moving it the same way, there's a connectability that you feel with everybody else around you, but it's unspoken. It doesn't need to be, it doesn't need to be named,
Mm.
and that's what kind of connects you on. That's why people fall in love with strangers at raves, or they put, um, yeah. So there's a lot of connection that comes through dance as well. And then if you can let yourself go, the confidence side and the lack of judgment and letting all that kind of let that kind of go as well, it's really empowering. Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. Like honestly, and like you said, the evidence shows like there's a lot of history behind it. Yeah, so amazing. What was the book name again? Sorry,
Well,
just for
the
anybody
book is
watching,
called The
listening.
Dance Cure, and it's by Peter Lovatt. Yeah, there's a lot of the science in it about stress, resilience, and you should go and check it out if you're thinking. And then
Yeah, great. Yeah, amazing.
doing it every
Honest.
kid.
Yeah, and I'm all about that. Do you know what I mean? Sharing the knowledge. I'm all about as well reading books that are going to kind of elevate and just learning more. It's all about that. Sharing that knowledge for you, Reese, with you being you're quite like you're a male role model out here. Do you know what I mean? To like the younger generation, younger guys. I like to see it as, and I'm sure as well you see that. And many people see you as that. So I've spoke on my previous episodes just about I'm going through like my son, he's kind of doing that transition from like primary school to secondary school. So naturally, I'm going to see this bit of shift in him, right? And I just like to get people's experiences. And you being an older male, like role model, what would you advise to guys, kids, sorry, young boys that are going through that transition? So, any type of advice going forward to this new experience that they're going to kind of enter?
I would say, and I would say get them around healthy male role models. I would say
Mm,
get, if there's any members of your family or friends that they can uh, kind of be an apprentice, or just like get them around and get them experience and show them examples of people that and get people that are doing well for themselves, um, that might be able to that look similar to them or from similar backgrounds, and then let them have conversations about them and their youth and stuff like this. But apart from that, as a kid, you're going to make mistakes. So just being there to support your son and let him know that it's okay to make mistakes, but let's communicate all the time, and that reminding him that failing is a part of life and that failing's never failing. It's just always learning, and that you know, the more that we can embody that, the only time we ever lose is when we don't try. So
mm.
I would say definitely get them around them. Get him into some sort of groups as well. So,
Yes.
if it's at college groups or university groups, when they ever go, when they keep evolving, and that might have discipline embodied in them,
Yeah.
and then safer environments, and yeah, check in on him on like on a monthly basis and stuff. But don't make it an essence of like, okay, then sit down now. We're going to have a conversation about how life is. Take him out to get ice cream or to the bowling, and then talk to him whilst you're doing stuff. Men like to do stuff, so
Okay.
we don't like to sit down face to face and have a conversation. It's the same with kids. He doesn't want you to sit down and give him the pep talk. He wants you to be his mom, have fun with him, and then he'll open up to you anyway. So I think that's the best way to kind of connect with younger children. And I'm reading a book right now called How to Raise a Boy. Yeah.
Mm.
I'm only halfway through it, but it's um it's about
Interesting.
it's about like how to raise kids, well, how to raise a son. And one of the points in there is about the placement of the father and the placement of when they get older, of people within the community that aren't the dad taking over and looking after the kids for a bit to show them responsibility from an outside source. So and then they can learn better communication skills, and they can learn, because same with the mom and the dad, as we get older, kids, they will become slightly rebellious, and they do want to break away out the foundations a little bit. So it goes in the end and out the other in some senses with parents.
Yeah.
You can be combative, but
Okay.
yeah, so
Thank you.
I think that that'd be like something, yeah.
Yeah, no, thank you. Like, great advice. Like, seriously, I'm taking on as much advice because I feel like I'm going through something as a parent. Do you know what I mean? That whole transition. So I just want to be there for them as much as I can. So, guys, anyone listening, anyone watching, if you're experiencing the same, parents going through the same, then just stay strong out there, guys. And just great advice. I think it's just normal feelings, right? And it's very common, but it'll be all right.
Yeah. Can I add on to that as well?
Mm,
'Cause, I wanna add on to that as well. Being a mother, and then me, I run a women's group as well, and there's certain conversations that pop up every now and then, and there's, the conversation of, "Am I being a good parent? Like, am I doing a good job?" And I think a lot of women are very, um, they, they like to beat themselves up a lot of the time. I grew up, my mum raised me and my two brothers and she only had me at late 17. She was a young child when she had me. Well, no, she was a teenager, but she's young to have a kid. And then she went through she went through domestic violence, and she went through a lot of other adversity growing up, and moving around a lot. She had one with me in a hostel and different places. And she sat down with me many times and she's gone, I've, she's reflected. She's gone, am I a good mom? I feel like I'm a really bad mom. But my mom's raised three incredible kids. And I think at the time when you're trying to be a parent, then you've got the rest of the life happening to you. You can give,
mm,
you always put your kids first, and then um you, you don't see in the moment what you're teaching them in the future. So your resilience, and then they see you going through a hard time, they see you trying, and then you putting them first, or putting and being a guidance for them and other people. They might not tell you at the time, but there will be reflections in their future when they grow up and they go, my mom endured a lot. She was resilient. She pushed through. She's always, even though when I was a little bastard, she's always tried to, show me the light, and put herself out for that, even when we didn't have much, or even blah blah. So I think be nicer to yourself and understand, nobody has a blueprint really for growing up for kids, and nobody lives your life. So you just got to do the best that you can. And then, and it's not perfect. It might be messy, but if there's food on the table and a roof over their head, and then, you know, and yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult, but I think mothers don't give themselves enough praise for certain places, and yeah, so that's what I'd be saying, and that's the conversation that I've had with my mum before, and that's just what I took on experience on that essence. And there's mums that I've spoke to before. Once again, they are also in that place, and they don't know, their kids are growing up, they're being argumentative, and they're battling with them all the time, and it's hard for you, it's difficult. But them kids are going through a lot of emotions. They're going through puberty. They're confused themselves. They're growing up into their adult selves. It's
mm.
not personal to you. Don't think that they when they're being mad at you, and they're saying, "Oh, they're throwing and slinging arrows at your verbally." It's not about you really. It's about them trying to figure out what they're doing, and they're trying to,
Yeah,
balance themselves out sometimes. So, detaching away
yeah,
from that sometimes is probably really
yeah.
powerful, and understanding it's a part of the process of growing up. There's something in the book. It talks about teenagers when they're going through puberty as men, they actually come partially deaf, and this is a clinical thing, but we never really think
Mm,
about it. So, then I always remember my mum was shouting at me, and obviously now I'm using it as
yeah,
an example, but you
yeah.
you don't understand the biology of life when we go through certain things, and then once you do, when you do, it kind of gives you a different perspective on certain things. But yeah, yeah,
No, great words. Like, seriously, anyone listening and watching, that's really useful to know. I know that's really helpful that I've gained something from there. Do you know what I mean? One reassurance is really kind words as well to people, anyone listening. It's good to hear. I really needed to hear that. But also just your insight, your experience as well. So it's great to get that as mothers, like, okay, and this is what to expect, and knowing it is a transition for them as well. So it is going to be a whole new experience, challenging at times, but it's just about embracing it and just trusting in it. Do you know what I mean? So thank you. Those really great words. I really appreciate that. But yeah, so what I want to say is, so honestly, Reese, so just to let you know, like, I wanted to bring you on just to speak about the hike. Like, honestly, I could go on about it. Like, yeah, I've gained so much from it. And then from then on, like, coming to your group events, other further events, like, honestly, but just the experience itself, like, I can honestly say like it's been one of my best experiences. So I just want to thank you, and just thank you again for coming on, and just speaking on it a bit.
Well, I'm glad you asked, man. It's been a lovely conversation. So, yeah, thank you.
Reese, remind people how they can get in contact with you.
So they can get in contact with me via the social media pages if they want to, which we have Instagram for the Brotherhood Legion .cic and the Sisterhood _ Midlands. We have a Facebook group for the Brotherhood called the Brotherhood Legion. And then I'm sure when you post this, you'll have our link in there as well. So, and then just tap straight on there. And then, yeah, drop me a message if you're local or you want to get involved in some of the hikes or anything like that. And yeah, create a connection, create a tribe.
Thank you. We've had some amazing stuff happen recently. Many events. Tell us all about it.
So this year's been absolutely ram-packed with new things and new events. We've just and with making new partnerships. Realistically, we just did a big partnership with High Cross, which is our big shopping centre within Leicester, and
Yeah.
for their sports month, we had a big expo in one of their shops. So it's a huge shopping centre, and one of the shops used to be allocated for Top Man, and it was a free store shop, and it's really nice and big and wide. And then we took over that for 2 days, and then we basically put on a big long list of activities, and as well as a space of engagement. We ran things like Tai Chi, breath work, sound baths,
Mm.
boxercise, a bit of dance fitness. But the aim of the game is to you lean on them foundations of what we do with the Brotherhood and the Sisterhood, which is conversation, movement, and inclusion. So at the back of the shop, we had the classes, and then we had a great company called Rise Coffee. They come in and did a collaboration with us, and they were doing their incredible, beautiful tasting coffee. And we had this big open space with tables. We had interactive games on there. There were card games for conversation icebreakers, or like giant Jenga, giant Connect Four, or little party games. And we had people coming in, they'd sit
Nice.
down and they'd ask each other the card games, and then they'd come and do the classes. We did this incredible big social run with some of the local run groups. I'm going to shout out to the Space to Run girls, the Let's Run Then by Loz, and then also running with Tom. Some of his guys came down there as well. So we just got a lot of people out moving, talking, and then raising the conversation about the groups, and which was beautiful, and
Yes.
um, we had, just recently our touring. We just had the Public Health England fund one of our men's retreats, so we secured them two men retreats there, and we've already done like multiple different events, behind us already. But let's just look forward. We've got the hike coming up. We've got we're doing another event for the hashtag Look Good Feel Good, where we give out free clothes, free hair,
Mm.
um, free food, and then we'll have a comedy night for mental health, and then we'll do our Christmas dinner. So, there's always something going.
Amazing.
There's always something in the pipe.
Massive.
Every month there's a big event alongside the back-to-back workshops that we do. The ladies have been going crazy this year. We've had so many fun workshops for them, and they're built around educational or menopause, or they're built around, um, you know, self-defense and domestic violence. If they're built around art and still life art
Mhm.
drawing, or life coaching and vision boards, and aromatherapy and meditation. There's just
Oh,
so much
amazing.
offered this year, and it's amazing. It is amazing, and the community loves it.
Well, yeah, and rightly so. That's a massive impact. Like, seriously, well done. You should feel so proud, like, honestly, and well done on all those events that you've had and all that's coming up. It's just amazing. But yeah, so just thank you guys, anyone watching, listening. I just wanted to bring my buddy just to speak on about just my experience and a few other stuff, and just have a bit of a cozy chat, 'cause that's what it's all about, and just get through to people listening, watching, and hopefully you've gained something from this. And just remind you guys, if you do want to get in touch with us for anything, any kind of support, you wanted some guidance, you wanted to get through to somebody that spoke on or heard from, then please do get in touch, guys. So just to remind you, the email address is added here. So the core podcast at gmail.com. Please feel free to get in touch. So Reese, just finish off. Any final words, any words of encouragement that you want to kind of speak on?
Well, says once again appreciate you bringing me back on to catch up and then talk about some of the fun things that we do with the group, and to just look back at what we are speaking about today, about the hike, and then, about dancing and all these other things, about pushing yourself forward to things that might scare you a little bit, and then, going after new ventures, and yeah, facing that fear of judgment or of anything, new experiences that, that you might feel that you want to go out and try. If it's a new business or if it's a new hobby, go and do it. Go and do it, because at the end of the day, this is our life,
Yes.
and when it boils down to it, and then we're 60, 70, 80, and then everyone we know is probably either in a different place in the world, or we're just not connected to them. That's all that's going to matter, is when we can look back in our mind, in our memories, and experience them great moments of his, defying our fear, and then creating happiness within our own lives. So go and do it.
Woo! What a great end to an episode. Amazing words, like seriously. And anyone listening, watching, I really hope that resonates with you and encourages you to do just that, because that's what it's all about, right?
That's it. That's it.
Thank you, Reese. And I just can't wait as well, guys, to keep you updated about the upcoming trip that we have planned. So, yeah, just keep an eye out, guys. So I hope you have seriously enjoyed this episode. I hope you've gained something from it. And I hope it does encourage you to go out there and experience these experiences. But yeah, so thank you, Reese. Thank you once again for coming on. I appreciate you so much.
No problem, sweet. Thank you very much, and peace, love, and light.
Until the next time, guys, take care, you beautiful beings. Woo!